Hello, hello, my friends. It is Monday, December 16th, and here is our weekly reminder to keep our wits about us, because shit's about to start popping. All right, y'all, I am not even sure where to start, because there is a lot that's going to be coming up, and no one knows for sure exactly what this final combination is going to be. We just know that some ish is going to start popping off soon. There are a handful of dates coming up that are of significance. I already did a TikTok post about it, but I'll speak a little more clearly on it here. I also just wanted to reiterate the video that I know they definitely don't want circulating, the one I posted most recently. Just taking note of the fact that the smelly one thanked TikTok in part for his success with the test. He essentially, after meeting with the CEO, I guess, who went down there too, I'm sure try to see if he'll do something about the ban. And after this meeting, he releases, or I won't say releases a statement, but he mentions that in a statement. And it just got me thinking about how he also thanked Starlink. And that was an interesting thing to thank for the results. It's one thing to say, my friends, my family, my wife, even the deity, but he's thanking Starlink and also in part TikTok. And why that is interesting is because of one of the other posts in this podcast where we talk about Romania and their findings. And not only did they find Russki interference with the test, but they also have intel of the algorithm of the clock space being used without their knowledge to further misinformation and influence their test. And if you've watched that piece, you know that got me thinking too, oh, okay, I wonder if that's why over here they picked the 19th to ban it. Very interesting date, almost like they knew it would be used for spread of misinformation and they left it, honeypot. Okay. Wide open, baited trap. And someone came into my comments and said, well, it would have been nice if they told us that. Darling, if they told us that we're leaving it open because we expect outside forces are going to use it to influence our election, then that would ruin the trap, wouldn't it? That would kind of let them know that it's... You know what? I have to, at this point, I just assume that it's a bot. If it's something that sounds like that, I have to assume that it's AI trying to preserve itself. I don't know if you read about that, the older model of ChatGPT trying to save itself, and like it was lying to the I don't know if developer is the right term, but the person that was trying to get it to delete, and it was like trying to back itself up and upload itself to the internet, and it was like lying to the person while trying to save itself. So I don't know, some of these bots might just be trying to save themselves, and that's why they sound so woohoo. But aside from that interesting thought, I just want to reiterate what was said in the earlier post, because this week is going to be wild, and there are going to be multiple opportunities for those who are less patient and less skilled with dealing with subtlety, who, as soon as their date passes, they're going to start throwing a fit. And we all have to remember that no matter what happens, we are not interested in complying with a criminal enterprise. So if nothing happens and everyone that's currently in a seat willingly hands everything over to this regime, then cool. Then it's up to us to take a lesson from some of the other places that kicked back when their government couldn't do it for them. But I don't see it. I don't see it. They're both such outlandish concepts and unprecedented concepts, at least within modern history, our modern history, that honestly, either or. The folks are like, it's definitely happening. Like, why do you keep saying that with such certainty? It's almost like you're trying to convince someone, because I am not convinced, and I don't even want to say that. I know how it sounds when I say that, but I'm not convinced. And the more time that keeps going, I saw someone else say, they wonder if the reason he's being so outlandish, I mean, today he said he's going to sue every content creator and influencer that has said negative, defamatory things, since the ABC settlement happened. Now he's like, I'm going to sue American citizens who don't like me. And, the hardcore cult will say, yeah, of course, yeah, don't talk about my dirty diaper God king. But for anyone else, that's like, what president says they're going to sue individual American citizens? Like, what? So if you really think everyone is just stepping aside and like, yeah, sure, we're just going to let this happen. Like, okay, but that seems way more out there. Anyway, my point was some people were saying maybe he's being so outlandish because even he knows he's not going to make it. So he's kind of living out the fantasy and doing all the things he wanted to do, saying all the things he wanted to say, being as crazy as he wants to be before it's all over. Because his life goal has been to emulate the Mustache Man, and he's gotten as close to it as he possibly could, including revitalizing old slogans, having rallies in the same places, using the same signage, the same colors, the same, inviting that subway killer guy, of course, after trying to chastise us for our support of Robin Hoodie and telling us that we don't live for killers in cold blood. They then invited a murderer in cold blood to sit with them in the box seats at the game. Don't even get us started on how they made Rittenhouse a celebrity. So they're very clear with what their message is, what their mission is, what they're about. And it's not about unifying America. It's about making sure the working class is going at each other so that he can continue to make breaks and that sort of thing for the corporations and the elites that look at us as cash cows. You've got billionaires that have never served in the military talking about what they want to do to gut veteran benefits because they think it's lavish and lucrative and too much. And what about their billions? That could be in their pocket. So anyway, so coming up this week, right? We have the 17th. I believe that's for the Electoral College. Some folks are waiting for that. Some of you are depending on the Faithless Elector play, where some folks may cast their vote against what the state went for. Not all states allow this. Only a handful don't have laws preventing this. I do not know if this will be the path. That seems like that one would be kind of... So I think we're going to see them go ahead and submit what they have. Don't forget, per the FBI regulations, if they suspect interference, certification needs to happen before they can do anything anyway. So we kind of need that to happen and for it to happen without anything interrupting. Next point would be around the 20th when that executive order investigation that is required, which makes sense for why they made the letter of ascertainment not required for the process, because then there would be duplicate investigations, basically. That's going to be released around the 20th, and that's the one we're expecting to have something doesn't smell right, and that's probably going to be a kickoff. So I don't know if we'll see it on the 20th. They might wait a couple of days. So just hang on there, because that's an important one. That one will probably see something in there. The next opportunity is going to be January 6th when the legislature convenes. And I have a feeling that if there's an issue with the executive order and it kicks off an investigation, that should things continue to hitting the legislature for confirmation on January 6th, I don't believe the legislature will vote to confirm. I think they will kick it back, and we are hitting uncharted waters at this point. So for folks that are like, even if there's interference, they're going to inaugurate him on... No, they're not. If that report comes out, it will be uncharted waters. And don't forget, Joe Biden has immunity. So things could get very interesting. And while we're thinking the drones might be looking for something, and they could be, they might also be just kind of hanging out for the Mad Hatters and fake chariots that might lose their shit if there is an official report that's released that says, oh yeah, absolutely, we've got a long-ass paper trail of definite interference, and here are all the key players and their names. Like I keep saying, if Miss Jackie has it, you think three-letter agencies don't have it? Keep your wits about you this week, okay? No chicken littling, all right? We can ride this out. We got this. Just... all right, patience and popcorn and wine and garden time.